Hi guys. I'm sorry that it took forever for me to come out with this next podcast. It took like an hour? That's way too long. So what I'm gonna talk about now is how I was able to kind of dust off the dirt and the sand that I've been buried in. And now I am up. And I'm looking at the excavator. It looks kind of like it's confused as to why I'm there because for some reason, I guess, mind-blowing mind open-mindedness. Wow, welcome back everyone to the open mind of amazingness. I was about to get dumped into a fucking container, kind of like a trash bin or something like that, and then something just struck me. It was like lightning from God. It was just like, oh my God, there's light that is coming from it, and that's amazing. So let's go ahead and keep going with this broadcast here. Fuck you, fucking straight channels. Okay, go on that. Play with your AM FM dial until you get to the right station 950. Okay, and I remember there was a movie where the person was trying to remember the 830, and you're gonna have to think about what movie that was when you're done falling off of your fucking ski lift. All right, so when you get up, you fucking realize the truth. Hold on to the blue brush, scrub the shit out of that thing, because you need to drink from it, okay? And as soon as you're done drinking from it, number 3, like I said, it's just another number, okay? How many zeros do we got to put up here? We have 1 0 there, we have 1 0 there. Think about it, all right? Think about it. Now, looking up ahead in the distance, what we have planned, I can see a mountainous region. I can kind of see I see like a ram. I see like a motorcycle. I see like a Grim Reaper with a scorpion tail on a fucking motorcycle. That is one of the coolest fucking tattoo ideas I have ever seen designed and come up with. So there are a bunch of windows with bars. That's where currently I can kind of see what that is. But we're gonna go ahead and just stare at it for a little while. Just stare at it. Fucking look at it. Look at it. What are we looking at? I know. It hurts. It hurts deep down. It hurts deep down inside. It's kind of shadowy. It's a shadowed area because you have to pass underneath like kind of a tunnel bridge. And it's just kind of like, my heart is fucking frustrated. My heart's hurting. My heart's hurting. The traffic lights constantly changing from red, green, yellow, red, blue, red, whatever the fuck color you see and think about, right? So think about that when you're going across. There's a Jack in the Box, there's a Walgreens, there's all kinds of stores, and you kind of just like, you love that area, and then when you actually think about the other areas that you're driving past, you think of an airport, you think of wearing sunglasses, and you're just kind of like, whoa, I can see the desert kind of like running through the trees. Like, how does a desert run through the trees, you ask? Well, back in the day, plate tectonics, if you remember studying about that back in, elementary school? For you're probably learning it in high school because they didn't have the proper funds, the budget. Now think about fucking Pluto, Scorpio and Pluto generation. That's an important thing to fucking recognize, okay? So the number four, right? And I'm doing my best here. It's kind of like you have on like a Hyrulean necklace or some kind of pendant that wraps around your head. It's bluish in color and it's like a diamond. They used to have those back in the day. I'm going to bring you all the way back to around maybe the 1400s. Now, the 1400s, there was a mystical amount of magic in that time. It was relevant because the regencies, they held a lot of power and dominion over the doublenaires, they're like the millionaires of the time, and they oftentimes wore kind of like crowns, but it was more like a hat that was like, it looked like a crown, but it had like a cushion on top. You fucking love that. They also had cushiony kind of shoulder pads, and that was to kind of give an effect of not only feminine but also masculine proportions of the shoulders, the back, the chest. And they were able to puff outward like Puff Daddy. And that's where Puff Daddy kind of was able to get his name from. P. Diddy and Diddy Kong, right? Racing. So there you go. You understand, you put it all together. You got your planes, trains, automobiles from the last podcast. And you think about it, when you finally get to that hovercraft fucking mission, fucking the hovercrafts, dude, are you gonna fucking control that shit? Control that shit, alright? You can hear me on the left, you can hear me kind of on the right. You hear me on the right, caution, alright? And there's all kinds of medications out there, all kinds of medicines that you can take. PX, you know, where does that come from? The medicinal era, 1400s and prior. You know, how long ago was it that the Muslims themselves were coming up with medicines? How long ago was it that the Indians themselves were coming up with all kinds of medicines and mathematical equations and algorithms, as well as algebraic expressions? Now, you express yourself algebraically, you either do it in a 1 or 2 fashion. You fucking trigonometry. That's something I'm impressed with, is trigonometry. And trigonometry is something that has to do with loaded weaponry of the mental capacity. So when you have the mental capacity, when you're able to fucking think like a weapon, when you're able to think like a sword, when you're able to think like a shield, you're able to block off all of those PX kind of attacks, and the EX plus alpha fucking meter runs super high. You get the fucking supers. And as soon as you get the super, you can do a suplex, or you can suppress the enemy. And the enemy is in the quadrant, the left quadrant. They have they're oftentimes they're crazed. They're sex-crazed individuals. They're driven by lust and formations of just tribulations and barely a triumph. I can barely call it a triumph. Because if you want to say the T wins, then it's kind of like, okay, there's a twisted T. You throw that around, you fuck that person up in the head. You remember that meme? It just came out most recently. So the PX, and we're going to get back to that as soon as I do my next podcast. Thank you so much. I come second to the purpose of these podcasts. You love this podcast. We are together in this podcast. We are together as one, moving forward through the golden windows into the place that we're supposed to be. Why are we through the golden windows? Because love is not a boundary. Love is an inclusive element that allows us to rescue people into party zones where we can wear hats together with balloons, as well as hold onto the strings of our lives. And as we're holding onto these strings of our lives, we're begging. We're just like, oh my God, I'm begging so hard. And you really didn't have to do that, because hello, where are we again? The excavator's long gone. Where did that go? Who knows? But now we have a fucking open your mega mind, mega box, black box, mega mind box. And as soon as you put all that together, well, guess what? Chumbawamba. All right. Thank you so much for listening. Fuck.